So I have a therapy call. I didn't want to get too deep in like what's going on. It's not really nobody's business. I'm not trying to put that shit out there. I'm just trying to give you guys a little bit background information as to why we're going to have this conversation and why we're going to, like talk about this in the vlog and things like that, and why I'm sharing this with you guys. I'm not here to spill my business and tell you guys the tea on my little life. Like, that's so beyond what I'm trying to do right now. I want a young girl who feels like what I feel like when I'm in relationships and new experience. I want a young lady who feels like what I go through, and she see this shit and she's like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. Somebody understands me. Somebody gets what I'm saying. Somebody out there, like God listening. I mean, like, I don't know how to explain. So to me, the recent encounter with the woman left me emotionally violated because it brought me back to a familiar feelings. She reminded me of my comfort that I had with the 32-year-old. So, but this woman used the push and pull method with me. She would shower me in compliments the first 2 or 3 days, or when she woke up in the morning. Like, she went to go search for my work, my podcast, my YouTube, and things like that. But her energy didn't match mine. She didn't. While I allowed her to be herself, like I gave her grace to be her, I felt like I was under scrutiny and I was like faced under a microscope with her. And like the manner in which she handled me was upsetting to me because it was the dismissive tone, talking over me, treating me as if like I'm disposable. And instead of it was like I was in a meeting with the principal office instead of having a mature conversation to get some closure on things. And then she also told me, this is why I said I feel like it was a lot of gaslighting or manipulation, because she, when she told me that, the thing is, Miss Bernice, like I brought her an edible arrangement that morning that we stopped talking. And she got on the phone, she did something sexual, we moved past it. So how it go from that to now, hours later, you telling me I'm calling you too excessively and we're no longer gonna work? Mm-hmm. No, like she got on the phone, like she was like, I appreciate what you do. Like I didn't get it to that point because I told her I don't want to like do that. She just like started doing sexual stuff, like sending me pictures of her with the vibrator and playing with it and stuff like that. Yes. Because it was like 1 minute, it was like mixed signals. One moment it was her telling me she wanted me and she can't do me the way she do to her past, to now it's like she's screaming at me, telling me it is what it is, go find somebody else. It's not that hard. It was definitely a quick emotional roller coaster ride, because it was just like, like Miss Bernice, when I say it was like I was jumping through hoops in my brain to make sure like I didn't mess nothing up. So it was like I even made the comment like, it's like everything is based off you, right? Like how you feel about it. She was like, yes it is. And I wanted to punch that hoe down. Like I'm not even gonna, I wanted to put my hands on her, because it's like I shared with you that I don't date feminine women, and this is why I don't do that, because I do something for you and then you automatically give me a 180 and now it's you doing too much and you calling me excessively and things like that. But you was just the same person. Just last week when we was talking, you told me to book my appointment this week so we can have sex. Yes, like we just been texting, calling, FaceTime and things like that. So that's why she told me it shouldn't affect your life that much. Like you should be able to go on with your routine. It's only been 5 days. Everything happened so quickly, and you was just the same person that said I don't like when people talk to me recklessly, because it's no point for us to get to that. But when I'm trying to be the one in the conversation to say, okay, I need you to listen to me. You can't keep over talking me. Like, you gotta let me talk. It's being met with dismissiveness, disrespectful. And so I ain't gonna lie, Miss Bernice, I got her ass. Because after the second phone call, I'm still trying to find some closure, some type of understanding. You're still being a B to me. I don't like that. I don't deserve to be treated like that. So I texted her from my other phone. I went off on her. I told her I did voodoo on you and your family. I said you will never be nothing in life. And I said you and your bastard ass kids, fuck y'all. I don't care. I took it there because it's like, you not finna keep making a practice out of disrespecting me and think I'm not gonna say anything, but you want me just to move on with my life. No, I'm finna get in your ass first. But I'm mad at myself because she brought me to that level. I haven't been like that. I don't want to treat nobody that I care about like that. And I was starting to open up and care about her. So it's just really disappointing that she brought me out of my character to the point where now I have to read you your rights at 40. I just want the record to be known. She was calling me. I took a screenshot of my call log, and it was always her calling me. And I posted that on my Instagram, and she was just like, I'm calling you too much. I gotta stop calling you. So it wasn't like I was being the one to chase her down or be so, so strong about it. You did that to me. So the one day that I called you 3 times, you was telling me that I'm calling you too excessively, and now you don't want me in your life. Well, you didn't even say that. You had to use vague languages, block me, and then block me on Instagram like a 21-year-old. And then you saying when I'm reaching out to you trying to understand why am I getting blocked, you want to sit here and play the victim card like, oh, I'm making you uncomfortable. How was I making you uncomfortable when you was just moaning my name earlier this morning? Second time of me trying to talk to somebody and they just steady want to leave. I was like, this is so frustrating. And she was like, it feels like we've been together and we're trying to hold on to our relationship. I said, bitch, you're the only one that feel like that. It's because of you. You're dragging it, like you're overthinking it. You putting your past on me. Like I can't even send you a TikTok without you feeling like it's a red flag. So it's just like, it was so intense to the point where I was so frustrated. I started crying. Like I cried for like a couple hours. And it was just like, I was so frustrated. And that's when I went back and called her again to try to get some understanding because, like, okay, let me calm down and see what she's talking about. But it was still, oh, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just in a season of my life where I don't have the extra time and the patience and things like that. And it was just like, you pursued me. You gave me your number. It wasn't me. It was like I was on a trial run or something, and it was just like I don't know, and it felt like I was holding my breath every time because I didn't want to rub her the wrong way. So it felt like that because of what she was placing up on it, and it was like once she asked me about my mental health, and I have when you go to my podcast, I have episodes dedicated to my mental health. So she asked me, and I was like, yeah, I have bipolar depression, and it was just like, soon as I answered that, it was like, oh, you having a low day? Oh, is everything okay? I don't want nothing too heavy. When it was one day I just didn't know how to feel and to communicate that, and she was just like, well, don't tell me then. It was just, I don't like to be treated like that. I don't want somebody to come off rude and say, I'm just so blunt and you're being rude and you're picking me apart. Because in the same time she would compliment me, she would say something that she didn't like about me. I'm mad at myself because I texted that last thing and I made those comments like saying that her child's a bastard and I put voodoo on the family, which I ain't do the voodoo part, but I did everything else in the message that I said. I did email I emailed Uber and Lyft and told them that she was doing fraudulent activity on her account. In that moment, I wanted to destroy her. I didn't care that she had a child. I didn't care that she had a future. I didn't care about none of that. If I knew what job she had, if she had a real job, I would have went down there and I would have got her fired. Because one thing, like, I'm not disposable. I don't like the fact that women keep thinking they can take from me what they want to pull and take my energy, and then they discard me as a whole person when I didn't do that to them, when I made space for them. And then you think you're gonna move on with your life and wake up another day all happy and holy. No, I'm finna mess something up. I signed her up for the military. All you gotta do is put that information in, a recruiter will call them, and they will get drafted. And I was just like, the bitch wasn't even cute. Miss Bernice, that's why I'm mad. Like, you wasn't even bad. I'm the bad one. I was the one that was really talking about something. You just had a little booty on you. That's why I was really giving you time of day. I like, you know, like, that's why I'm mad, because like, oh my God, I feel like she was playing a character the whole time looking back at it, because Miss Bernice, she telling me she own a transport services, but you doing Uber and Lyft every day that we talking. Like, it was just like she was trying to play a role because she knew what type of woman I was. And it was just like, I really do feel violated. And I just feel like you too old to be playing these type of games. And I really feel like she just wanted to have sex and conversation, and she just masked it up as, oh, I want a girlfriend. I would do differently I would let her chase me a little bit more. I feel like because I haven't had enough attention and enough like attention from women that I like, it was like, okay, after the second day of her complimenting me, it's like, okay, we ready to go, let's go. You know, like but I see that she see me as a doll. Like, she see me as, I want you to dress up for me, I want you to do this and that, listen to what I'm saying. She didn't take me as a whole human being at certain times. So it was just like, I felt like a pageant girl. Like, I was just a trophy, you know, like, until I started to talk and got on her nerves. And she would say like little remarks, like she'll say little things that I catch, and I feel like that's what I can do differently. When I was explaining something to her, she was like, when you put it like this, it makes you sound like a victim. So I had to redirect, what am I saying, and how is it coming from a place of victimy, or is it coming from a place of self-respect? And when I did talk to her from a place of self-respect, it got a different response. And also, when she made the comment, if you feel like you wasted your time, you gave me too much of your availability. I will no longer make room for someone because of how they make me feel. They will have to prove to me now. They will have to do a little bit more work. Like, why am I continuously texting you all day? Like, why are you calling me? What are we going to talk about? I will be doing differently. I won't share my art with anyone too soon, because they can't handle that. She took my art. It was like, once I told her I had bipolar depression, she was like, she took it as if our 6 days that we talking, it's like I'm obsessed with her, I'm in love with her. No, I'm not. I'm really like this with everybody. I do this to the mailman. I do it to my mama. I'm not like this just because it's you. Probably 3 p.m. today because I was still feeling type of way. So like I said, remember, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my, and yes, I have on clothes, YouTube. I have on clothes. Okay. As someone living with bipolar depression type 2, I know that new relationships and experience can trigger anxiety for me. I have firm boundaries for my peace of mind, and if someone can't respect those, I prefer to distance myself. It's easier than risking future hurt, as I've been vulnerable in the past and had that trust stripped away. That said, I'm working on communicating from a place of strength, not as a victim of circumstance. My recent interaction with a woman left me feeling emotionally violated. It brought back familiar feelings because she immediately reminded me of the comfort I once had with the 32-year-old. However, this woman used a push and pull tactic with me. She was showering me with compliments, actively engaging in my work and art, and reached out very often, but her energy just didn't match mine. While I allowed her to be herself, I felt like I was being unfairly discredited and criticized, constantly under a microscope. When she chose to part ways, the manner in which it was handled what unsettled the most. The dismissive tone, talking over me, and treating me as if I was sitting in a disciplinary meeting instead of having a mature, respectable conversation. It was from what I expected. It was far from what I expected. Even after she told me she didn't want to continue, she blocked me despite her initial suggestion of friendship. As a grown woman of 40, I find that behavior immature and disheartening. Well, she was 37, but you know, like, you gotta round up with these bitches. I feel like I was in a trial run with her. where even if the things didn't work out romantically, there was a potential for a strong friendship. But instead, I was treated as though I was a burden because of her past betrayals. She gave me mixed signals. One moment telling me she wanted me, and the next dismissing my feelings with a casual, "It is what it is." I felt like being used and I felt like I was being used and discarded, like an emotional transaction had been taking place. What hurts the most is how she triggered my vulnerabilities and caused me to react in ways that don't align with my character. She judged me without truly experiencing who I am. I gave her grace and patience despite her constant force of red flags. Yet she only took what suited her and disregarded the whole of who I am. This experience has jaded me to the point where I'm no longer interested in dating women who are fully committed to loving another woman. Now I'm left reflecting, not on what I did wrong, but on the fact that I deserve better. I deserve someone who values all of me, someone who understands that my boundaries and experiences are part of my worth, not something to dismiss or pick apart. Moving forward, I will honor myself, my emotions, and my right to be treated with respect and care. Like, that was a lot. Like, I don't know if I should post it on my blog or not, but what y'all think? What y'all think? I wish I could talk back. Like, I wish we were on live and like the comments were just coming in. Like, "Hey girl," like, "Hey channel dolls." But what y'all think?